What's up, y'all? We back at it again with another video. As you know, with this channel, we feature, different sectors and, different topics of such, whatever the case may be. Pretty much, its main, part of healing and, as through healing, you got to go through certain experience, learn from those experiences. That way you can be able to heal. But in order to heal others, you have to want to heal yourself, as we highlight the positives on this channel, we have to highlight the negatives too. That's how we keep it real and authentic. It's never, nothing wrong with people knowing too much about you. You get to choose, what you want people to know, what you don't want to know. Of course, not valuable stuff, because then that's how they have leverage over you. If that's how you choose to, it just depends on how you handle that particular information. And then you can't show too much of the good stuff, because there's a lot of envious people, haters, people who don't have the energy of their own to get up and create stuff, which they do, but they're just too lazy to try, don't want to go through those hurdles, so they'd rather hate, what's bad on other people. And when you showcases your downfalls, that's when they're happy, that's when they're excited, because you on their level, as they think they're comfortable. Or when you showcasing your highlights and your growth, they a little bit hating, and they be speaking on that shit and be making it easier for your shit to go down, adding that extra energy to your shit. So that you don't really want everybody to know too much of what you got going on and what you're doing. Move in silence, let that shit grow. Then once it's already there, ain't shit much they can do. But pretty much this video is just gonna be about the negative side. It's not really nothing dark, nothing. It's just more so some of the not necessarily depression type stuff, but healing as I grow older and as I get older. And I'm not a suicidal type person. I've grown. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, I've never been a suicidal type person. There's people around me, that do have those attributes. But I've always been, or at least thought of myself to be strong enough to, not go out that way. So, just stick and fight through it. Through life, you have your ups and your downs. You just have to be able to balance them out and balance through it and learn from it, and grow from there. And I'm not really trying to make this a video extremely too long, but pretty much it's just, you in your head and you got those negative thoughts, and you just, trying to decipher life, decipher things in general. And it's like, for me, in my particular path, with some of the traumas and all that other various things that I encountered and endured, kind of still affects me in my present life, in the present moment as an adult, even though I'm still growing or whatever the case may be. But those are things that you kind of like still constantly have to deal with. And just because you think you forgot about it, or you push it, you push it in the back of your mind, it's still there. It's gonna come up and evolve to the surface, with more intensity until you deal with it, and that's kind of like one of those life lessons as you approach another level or stage. It's just like something you have to get done and accomplish in order to, embrace the next point, in your life and all that, or whatever the case may be. But in that sense, in that sense, not to really make any excuses or things like that, but like one of the things that I kind of endured, because you know how people had their little glow up phase or whatever the fuck it's called. I had a few insecurities, back then, and I wasn't like necessarily in a loving environment. Well, I was in a loving environment, but you gotta realize the way my life was set up. I had two different families, so both of the dynamics was completely flipped and switched. But with that going said, a lot of those insecurities, those words being said, brought down to me by other family members and, just people around me in general. And then, at that time, when you constantly hear a lie, or you constantly hear things over and over again, it becomes true, or at least in your mind, that's what it becomes, until you get up and decipher. Otherwise, motherfucker, speed up. Damn. fuck is you doing? Shit. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't really want to make excuses or nothing like that. But, you know, going through those things in life, you buried it. And, you know, you constantly still have to deal with it. So as an adult, you know, even though I have evolved, you know, I have grown and brought myself up, you know, regardless of what other people may say or may think, I choose not to let those people control me, because once you get emotional about those little things, that's your pressure points, and that's how they're able to control you and do anything that they want to do to you, because at that point they know what triggers you, they know what gets you hot, they know what can shut you down and bring you down to another low level, even if they're not doing it intentionally. You think, oh, this is a culture thing, or whatever the case may be. You know, during people's certain developments, they may not be strong enough to handle it, or, you know, they may just be, you know, trying to be tough for the crowd, or whatever the case may be, but still have those things that are not said or whatever. My particular case, I don't know. I mean, even though I think highly of myself, you know, in the back of my mind, I still have those insecurity and those thoughts that I'm not good enough, that I'm not the best. You know, you don't have to be the best. You know, you don't have to be perfect. You know, everybody's different. And, you know, everybody have their own attributes into how, you know, they function into society and things like that. But for me in particular, it feels like I don't know. It's just like, it's just off. Like, it's just not normal, whatever the case may be. And, you know, it would feel good to be normal for once in a while, but then normal and average is boring. Who wants to do that? But then, you know, I guess that just comes with the life or the path, you know, whatever the case may be. As I heal or whatever the case, but, you know, it just kind of makes it tough, difficult, because it's like you kind of like, you've been alienated your whole life, and you've been like kind of like, you know, put back, or you just kind of like step back and just remain reserved, stay to yourself. And then as you get older, you still have these traumas and, you know, things, you know, that shut you down, that you kind of have to deal with in order to bring yourself back up and grow. And it's uncomfortable, you know, but, you know, you got to do the things that you have to do that has to get done. So like for me, because I would constantly get in trouble a lot at school, I was never in class, so it's like I never got to connect with any friends like that. And also, I would also always be moving, so I like always go to different schools until like I was like, I think, middle school, kind of like stayed there all the way to high school. But, you know, from there I was always constantly at different schools, so, you know, I was always get a friend, then I always have to go find another one, or find, you know, nothing was stable, so it was kind of like, what do I want to say? It was almost like, you know, just being by yourself in general. You know, most people don't understand, or they go through their own little things, so they just think it's life, or whatever the things may be. And then, you know, as you get older, or, you know, the little friends that I did or thought I had for a sense, you know, those are just people that you meet through certain avenues, certain groups, which is only good or convenient for that little bit of a minute, because, you know, it's like oil and water. You know, for a certain time, you just can't be around a certain group of people no more if they ain't growing, or if they you know, keep talking about the same shit. You know, we passed that. But, you know, come that, you know, it becomes difficult, because you no longer is able to relate in the world, and it's like almost you alienating, you just in the corner by yourself, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So, you know, it's kind of boring, you know, not having any friends, nobody to talk to, nobody had that compassion. Whatever the world is, whatever's going on, then you just go around and see everybody just going out functioning, having fun in their little groups or whatever. And, you know, you're just working, you know, constantly trying to make a better situation for yourself. Not necessarily life passing you by, because you're doing what you got to do in order to get to that next point. But it's like, you know, I know with patience, it just seems like forever, and you just stuck. And I know with some people that's a little bit weaker, this is a harder toll for them. You know, they just completely blank out and just be dull, no emotions, always sad, gloomy, you know, shit like that, or just completely cut off, just mad at the world or whatever, you know. And I have my days. I'm not crazy and no shit like that, or, you know, I try to like be chipper and shit like that, but, you know, this just not one of those days. Just, I don't know, it's just, you know, maybe later. But then I don't know, Oh yeah, and then that's what I was about to say. And then, you know, when those people try to approach you, or other people try to approach you due to your other, you know, past healings from the end, you don't even know how to combat or deal with that when, you know, when people are trying to, you know, be your friends, or, you know, try to be nice or extend that level of gratitude, or whatever the case may be towards you. So it's almost as if like, well damn, I asked for help, but then when I get it, I don't even know how to fucking use it. And then, you know, you just want to be part of a unit or group too, where it's genuine, you know, you actually connect on different levels, actually get shit done, versus just some shit we constantly have to look over your shoulder, wondering what the next person might do just so they can get ahead type shit. So, you know, he has his moments. I'm just as regular as anybody else. I'm not, well, I take that back because we're all the gods, but, you know, I'm not no fucking super being, or, you know, I'm not entitled or better than anybody fucking else. We all in this together. You know, on a darker note, like I said, I don't want to make anything from the past excuses, because everything that I did go through, you know, once I realized it helps me to go stronger and be a better person. So I know I just got to pick myself up out of this gloom, you know, actually make a difference for myself, or I can continue, because, you know, life is all about choices. And, you know, as a man, you constantly have to choose the right choice for you. You can't sit around and complain once you make the wrong or right choice. You got to deal with the labor of those actions once you choose it. So, you know, you can choose to be chipper, happy, deal with your situation, or, you know, be down, be negative, and, you know, just let life pass you by and want to blame everybody else and use those other excuses, you know, to why your confluence is this way. And which is why I don't really want to use my past as an excuse, because by knowing that now, I know that past has made me stronger, and I just got to use those tools, you know, just to bounce back from that. So, you know, maybe not today, but one day. And that's another thing. It's harder said than done. No, it's harder done than said. Whatever the fuck the analogy is, but you get what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So you can talk it, and then you can almost read all these books, reach out for help, talk to people, and, you know, just generally know what to do, and still don't do it. Or, you know, you take your time to approach the situation, because that's the hard part, the actually action of it. You know, these negative forces, or whatever, call them whatever, negative or positive, they're all within you. So yourself is, you know, holding you back and keeping you accountable. You got to be kept accountable in order for you to grow. And, you know, I just, you know, if I know if it's a certain situation that I typically don't like, I got to do what I got to do in order to change that situation, you know, change that situation and be able to, you know, make it better for myself. And, you know, I always like material things, and I didn't necessarily want to get to a point where I'm at this pinnacle of success, and then all the people around me is fake, only around for the money, especially when they wasn't here in the past, so they only played a negative role, but now I want to celebrate with me type shit. So, you know, I don't want nothing fake like that. I want something genuine, something real. But I know the more I keep working on myself, the more that'll attract me, because you can't chase shit in life. The more you chase it, the more it's gonna run from you. So you just naturally attract that shit. I don't know. You know, that's just one of those videos. Like I said, I'm not no depressed type person, but everybody have their human emotions, you know, that they go through. Everybody have sad days, everybody have happy days. Nobody's a robot, you know what I'm saying? Unless your soul been took out, which, you know, actually can't be taken, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, everybody have human attributes that they, you know, that they have to configure to their own independent likings, you know. So this is just that video, you know, whenever you're down, you know, just pick yourself back up and keep going, you know, because at the end of the day, you also choose those negative thoughts. So when you have those negative emotions, you want to be mad, you want to punch some shit, you want to do something bad to somebody else, because it might make you feel good for the moment, which is temporary. And then if you have any conscience, then you're gonna be fucking guilt. You're gonna feel some type of guilt after that. But then once you know a little bit more about how that guilt shit work, you just gonna dead that shit and not worry about that shit before your heart get heavy and all that other shit. We ain't got time for all that. But you know what I'm saying? All in all, you gotta be the one to pick yourself up and choose whether you want to be happy or angry or depressed or gloomy, you know what I'm saying? Or even if, I know it can be harder because there's other confluences that play with, you know, different planetaries, you know, different different planetary motions, star alignment, temperature, weather, financial situation, environmental situations as far as family, your girl and all that, and you know, world situations, you know, that may all affect your gloom and your mood. So, you know, you just don't let those internal factors get to you, and just stay strong, you know, like I said. And for all the suicidal people out there, don't be a weak pussy bitch, because all you doing is you getting rid of that pain temporarily, but you're gonna go to something, well, you know, I'm not gonna speak on them shit I don't really too much know about, or whatever case it may be. But you know what I'm saying, if you thinking killing yourself is gonna make it easier for you and that's gonna aid all your problems, no, you're making it much harder on yourself, because not only your friends and your family that you're leaving behind that gotta deal with that shit, your soul has to answer to that. You gave up. You knew what the fuck you were supposed to be doing when you signed that contract and you came on this earth. You didn't fulfill your destiny or hold your end of the bargain. So you have somewhere else special that you gotta go to that little training camp. Then once you come to your self-realization, come back and do it again. So you don't just automatically go up. Keep in mind, with this whole Christian religion shit, they teach you heaven and hell. Shit doesn't fucking exist. All that is on earth, you know what I'm saying? But this ain't what that video is about. So it's like I'm saying, when you, oh cool, a red bird. You know what I'm saying? All my suicidal motherfuckers, don't take the easy way out, because it's just going to get harder for you. In the next reincarnation in your life, it's going to be even more fucking problems, you know? Or maybe even easier, because actually the people who have the hardships in life be the ones who have the greatest destiny ahead of themselves. And the ones who come in great and with all the good shit, they got to experience that bad and the negative side as they get older. So shit, you might come in as a motherfucking millionaire. I mean, with your parents a millionaire, but then something happened along the lines, they lose their fucking money, and then now you adult that don't know how to make motherfucking money because you had shit handed to you your whole fucking life. So you see how that totality and that balance flips. That's, everything's a fucking balance. So you know what I'm saying? Don't give up, you know, stay true to yourself and rock it out with the body and the life you chose. Because keep in mind, you chose to be here. You chose your parents. You knew exactly what you came in here to do. You knew the human experience you was gonna live. You know the soul purpose and the journey you gotta meet. You even almost know the people you had to attract in this life in order to gain new information or reach new levels. You know, your soul knows it, but you don't know it. But those, you know, type of events align where you collide, and those coincidences, they're not really coincidences on the spiritual realm. But from that we can't understand, or what we don't know in the physical realm, we call it coincidence, luck, and all that other shit, or karma. You know, which karma, you know, that's a whole nother video. But yeah, not to make this too long, you know, don't give up, finish it out. You know, you choose your emotions, and you know, it's always another day. You know what I'm saying? You're the writer in your book, and it's just simply another chapter. Actually, this ain't even a chapter. You don't want a whole fucking chapter on doom and gloom. This is just a page. Then we're gonna run through that page and go to an even better chapter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just stay positive. You know, all these negative emotions is temporary, but you can't always be positive in your life, just like you can't always be negative in your life. That's unrealistic. So you just got to deal with it, unfortunately, as a human. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, just embrace life, embrace the greater things. Even when you're down, be grateful for what you got. You know, think of all the things that you didn't have before and where you at now. Or even if you don't got that, and if you at the lowest of the low of the low, you still woke up. You still have, you know, whatever it is that you need in your resources, you know, to make it to the next level. You got, if you have good parents, you have them that's give you love, guidance, and support. So don't, you know, forget about the little small things that add to the whole picture too. You know, you're not in this alone. Everybody goes through these same things, whether they want to be macho and like they got it all, or, you know, whether they actually, you know, showcase it, you know, whatever the case may be. Everybody have different avenues, different attributes, but you know, you're not alone in this. The world is not against you. You just have to experience this in order to grow. You know, just go through it, don't give up, and keep it pushing. Yeah, have a great one. I got money to make.